Welcome back to Cheeseburger in Gaming Paradise. Today's episode is a little different. This is a double patty special. We're stepping away from grounded realism, away from survival horror, military hardware, and grim conspiracies, and diving headfirst into a world where the console wars are literal, where market shares equals divine power, where gods argue about sales numbers, and where pudding is a legitimate motivational tool. Today, we're talking about the twin faces of the Hyperdimension Neptunia franchise, the fourth wall-breaking protagonist and her dependable tech-loving younger sister. This is the story of Neptune and Nepgear. If you like your gaming analysis with meta commentary, irony, and healthy disrespect for genre tropes, you're in the right place. Gamindustri is a world divided into 4 nations. Each nation is ruled by a CPU, a console patrol unit. In other words, a console goddess. Each CPU represents a different gaming platform, and their power comes from one thing: shares, faith, belief, brand loyalty. When people stop playing a console, the goddess gets weaker, which might be the most honest metaphor in gaming history. Neptune is the CPU of Planeptune. She represents the Sega Neptune, a real-world console prototype that was cancelled before release. And that detail defines her entire personality, because Neptune doesn't have a corporate legacy to protect. She isn't burdened by history. She's free, she's lazy, snack-obsessed, chronologically unmotivated, and completely aware that she's the main character of a video game. Neptune constantly breaks the fourth wall, mocks RPG cliches, and openly questions the logic of her own world. Block path? She'll complain about it. Mysterious hooded villain? She'll call it out. For Neptune, gaming is about play, not prestige, not specs, just fun. And then there's Purple Heart. When Neptune transforms, the jokes stop. Her tone changes, her posture sharpens, and suddenly she's a composed, deadly warrior. The duality is important. Neptune represents the joy of gaming on the surface, while Purple Heart represents what happens when you commit, when you take the controller seriously, when the stakes feel real. Together, they reflect the two sides of the medium itself. Then there's Nepgear, Neptune's younger sister, the CPU candidate of Planeptune. Nepgear represents the handheld market, specifically the Sega Game Gear. And unlike her sister, Nepgear is responsible. She's studious, soft-spoken, a little gearhead who loves machines, upgrades, and systems. While Neptune naps, Nepgear works. She handles diplomacy, maintenance, logistics. She is the reason Planeptune functions at all. And yes, her love of tech is a subtle nod to the Game Gear's strength and its legendary appetite for batteries. Nepgear's story is often more emotional than Neptune's, especially in the later entries like Victory 2 and Sisters vs. Sisters. She lives in her sister's shadow, the candidate, never the main CPU. But when Neptune is absent, Nepgear steps up. She grows, she questions her worth, and slowly earns confidence, not through jokes, but through effort. Nepgear represents evolution, the bridge between nostalgic charm and technical progress. At the heart of Neptunia's world is the concept of shares. A CPU's strength is directly tied to public relief. No faith, no power. Neptune constantly struggles with low shares, not because she's weak, but because she'd rather eat pudding than run public quests. Nepgear, meanwhile, is the workhorse, which creates a brilliant question at the center of their relationship. Can the spirit of gaming survive if the work behind it isn't being done? It's a question every developer faces, and Neptunia asks it with a smile. The magic of Hyperdimension Neptunia lives in this contrast. Neptune is chaos, comedy, big picture heroics. Nepgear is order, heart, solutions. Together they balance each other. While other CPUs obsess over territory and rivalry, Neptune and Nepgear prioritize their bond. They don't embody toxic console wars. They embody community, love for the medium over loyalty to a logo. Neptune may be the main character, but she'll be the first to tell you she couldn't do it without her sister backing her up, usually with a giant gun sword. Neptune and Nepgear are more than mascots. They're a love letter to gaming itself. Messy, self-aware, ridiculous. They remind us not to take the console wars too seriously, not to worship specs over fun, and not to forget why we picked up a controller in the first place. Gamindustri isn't about winning, it's about play, and these two sisters understand that better than anyone. That's it for episode 3. I'm definitely feeling full after that double helping of Planeptune goddesses, so I want to hear from you. Are you a Nep fan list for meta jokes and pudding, or do you relate more to Nepgear's hardworking tech-focused approach? Let us know. Next time on Cheeseburger and Gaming Paradise, we trade bright colors and satire for high-tech shadows, corporate espionage, alien conspiracies, and one of the most important FPS protagonists of all time. That's right, next episode is all about Joanna Dark from Perfect Dark. Check your radar, ready your laptop gun, we're going dark. I'll see you then.
あなたはどうなのよ、ネプテューヌ。構わないわ。ここで勝てば、プラネテューヌの未来も明るく確かなものになるはずだ。なら、あれだな。一体うちの勝負っていうの。4人入り乱れて乱戦マッチと派手に行こうぜ。その勝負、ちょっと待ってもらおうか。誰？どこの誰か知らないけど、姿を見せなさい。